What is actually happening here, and how dramatic is it?
I think there's three things going on. One is, we identified two possible paths, as many people did yesterday, either close to immediate imposition of some of these tariffs or not, and the Trump people have split the difference. So that's number one. Number two, the obvious part is that China will respond in kind and in a similar dollar matter. The bigger question is whether China intends to make good on its threat to pull back from trade negotiations, because if they do that, then you have a trade war for sure. But if they don't, you don't. You have a ratcheted up tit for tat and a little bit of extra drama, but not that much. The Trump administration clearly is betting that they can continue to discuss this with China and get a good result. The final point here is, strangely, I think what Trump is signaling here is that he wants not only continued negotiations, but he'd actually like to have them resolved in the short term rather than the long term. There's been a lot of buzz out of Beijing, as a lot of people know, that the Chinese think that they can give the United States something relatively small, give them $70 billion worth of purchases, give them this, give them that, and this will go away. Trump's been saying it won't. We have fundamental issues to resolve. But I think what he's trying to signal is, I'd like to actually get those resolved sooner rather than later, and I don't want this strung out.
Well, Terry, that fundamental issue, quite rightly, this administration is looking at Made in China 2025 and trying to do something about it, justifiably so. And I just wonder what the Chinese can really do to satisfy those concerns in the short term and in the long term as well.
Well, I think the United States understands that it's not going to get concessions from another sovereign nation, no matter what it is, on industrial policy. So they're doing what they think is Plan B, which is targeting and trying to make more expensive the implementation of that particular policy. But what I think the United States is fundamentally interested in here, and I think they've been transparent about this, is actually getting some improvements on intellectual property, something the Chinese have already said that they plan to do back in May, in the so-called Washington Declaration in mid-May. And the other thing is the United States wants to deal with what they consider to be very serious transshipping problems in steel and aluminum, core industries that they think are necessary to have domestic manufacturing capability on. And from everything I hear, the transshipping remains a serious problem. So the United States is looking for agreements on both of those things in order to ratchet back here. And I expect the continued North Korea situation will be a mitigator on a lot of this as well.